Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before I start the video, I want to just talk to you for a bit because I want these videos to be real. I want to, I don't want any acting, and if I want to express something about my life, I will, because I really need help. When I was younger, and I mean a lot younger than today, I never needed help in any other way, but now I'm a lot older. Those days are gone, and I'm not so self-assured. Now, my life, it keeps changing in many ways, and my independence is just gone. You could say it's vanished in the haze. Help me. I need help just to get my feet back on the ground. Won't you please help me? That joke wasn't worth it. I couldn't remember the lyrics of Help, of all songs. I couldn't remember the lyrics, so I have my phone there with the lyrics on it. But I'm still going to put that in at the start of the video. So, as you guessed, today we're going over Help, the 5th Beatles album, I think. Yeah. This is the 2009 stereo digital remaster, which, it sounds great. I don't have a problem with it. We'll also have, which is special, we have a 1965 pressing of the mono version, which is in a really great condition for being over 50 years old. So we'll start with the 2009 one. We'll talk about the songs first. I mean, Help is one of the most famous songs of all time, and it's also one of the greatest songs of all time. I love John's vocals. There's an acoustic version which obviously John sung, and it's absolutely beautiful, just so melodic, and it's not as fast, because Help was a single, it was going to be a single, that they needed it to be more upbeat and faster, but this acoustic melodic version is amazing, so you should definitely check that out. The Night Before is a great song. With Paul's vocals is great. You've Got to Hide Your Love Away is one of the best Beatles songs in my opinion. And there's a really great Oasis cover of it, the Noel Gallagher song. But I just love John's vocals, and I love the lyrics. It's a very amazing song. I heard somewhere, or I read somewhere, that John Lennon didn't like his vocals and in this period of the Beatles, so he would double track his voice in a lot of the songs to make it sound better for what he believed was better. And he also John Lennon, after the Beatles split up, he did talk trash about a lot of the Beatles stuff, and I believe that Help, or this era of the Beatles, was one that he talked about a lot. I Need You is a great George song. Another Girl is great. You're Going to Lose That Girl. All the songs on this album are amazing. This album is one of the best because song after song it's just brilliant. And then Ticket to Ride. Ticket to Ride. I absolutely adore George's opening guitar riff. I think there's 3 songs from this sort of period where they started with that opening guitar, like what is it called? Day Tripper. Day Tripper is an amazing song. And then 8 Days a Week from the previous album, they had Act Naturally, Ringo's vocals. It's not a Carl Perkins song, but just fantastic vocals by Ringo. It's Only Love, which I know it's album filler, or John Lennon calls it album filler, but I think it's quite good. Tell Me What You See is a great song. I've Just Seen a Face. Now, something special about the Beatles is you can go years listening to the Beatles and you can still find songs that are brilliant you didn't know they'd done. And for a while, I've Just Seen a Face was that song for me, because I listened to their hits and a few of their songs growing up. Who doesn't? It's the Beatles. And then when I started listening to their albums, I would find these amazing album tracks that I'd never heard before, just like I've Just Seen a Face. And then of course you've got Yesterday. Now, Yesterday is so good of a song. I believe, I forget who it was, I'm so professional. But someone close to the Beatles wanted it to be a Paul McCartney solo single. It was going to be Paul McCartney's Yesterday, but Brian Epstein, I believe it was Brian Epstein or George Martin, didn't want to split the Beatles up in that way. You know, everything was with the Beatles. They didn't want it to be a solo track. But it's still one of the greatest tracks of all time. Absolutely beautiful. And I have seen the film. I think I might have done a review on the film on this channel, if you go way back. And it's alright. And then it ends with Dizzy Miss Lizzy, which is a cover by John Lennon. And I love the guitar on that track. It's so catchy. Now we'll get it out. Nothing. I think for the later episodes, I'm going to stop getting the 2009 ones out because they're not they're not very interesting. Nothing really special about that. You can go into HMV and pick one up. This is the special one, and it's protective. This is also the best sounding mono Beatles record I have. It's in the best nick. Oh, that dust. It's so bad. Oh, well, the sleeve needs a new sleeve. Oh. But this is 55 years old, so very special. Oh. You can't, if ever smell a vision or just fucking dust vision, you would know the pain and suffering I have to go through just to get these out for you. But I absolutely love the early Beatles stuff. I think it's so special, especially for rock music. Coming from, I'm going to mess with my hair. What's going on? You know, obviously the Beatles were inspired by stuff like the Shirelles and earlier bands and acts, and I think the progression from them to the Beatles and then on to the Beatles' later stuff, and obviously bands like the Rolling Stones and the Kinks, I think it's you know, something really special. But Help is a 10 out of 10 album for me, and I think it's, I count it as one of their later albums because of the sonic shift in their sound, but you know, it's still an amazing album. Join me next time when I show off and talk about Rubber Soul, and I can be more descriptive because that's one of my favourite albums of all time. Take care, everyone.